Hello, everybody. So happy to be live. I am going to share this on my socials before we get started, just to see if anybody wants to hang out. And then we will get started. How easy. I wasn't going to come on today, to be honest, because I'm in my menstrual cycle. And I was like, I don't know if I feel like doing this right now, but I wanted to show up, and I have so much exciting information to talk about that I was like, I need to show up. It's my sacred honor to show up on this space, in the space for you guys. So yeah, we're here and we're going to be talking about the body, talking about emotional healing. And I'm absolutely pumped to, talk about it, talk about all the fun stuff like that. I'm live on YouTube. Awesome, fam. It's such an honor to have like this space available to YouTube and the ability to. That's Mike Schwartz, by the way, on my Instagram feed, a Calgary fave. Okay, so hello, welcome to Creational Codes. Welcome to this YouTube video. My name is Grace. I am an energy healer. I am a coach. I am an entrepreneur. I am building courses, and I'm going to be building schools and places where healers, people who are ethereal, angels incarnate, and healers, spiritual beings that want to dive deeply into the body. That's my sacred calling. I have a lot of Taurus placements, but I'm also like the most airy fairy you could ever think of. So we're merging it together. We're allowing it to become bridged. And it's such a sacred honor. So I have a lot of information to break down for you. Deep feeling will quantum leap you. Okay, so what does this mean? This means that feeling our body, diving into the oasis that is this human experience, the body, the cells, I literally researched all about neurochemicals and like psychology. All of these things are very interesting to me, right? Because they are the mechanics of how we experience life, mind, matter, energy, and the physicality of this spiritual experience, being in a human body. And so many people are numbed out. So many people are not interested in feeling their bodies. They'd rather watch a movie. They'd rather eat excess food and all this stuff. And like, we're human. I've been there. I watch films sometimes. Literally, oh my gosh, I have to share this. My favorite TV show that I'm watching right now that has inspired some of the topics that we're going to be talking about in this live stream is Avatar: The Last Airbender. And it's been such an incredible like show to watch. And I know it's made for children and it's quite like silly and funny, but it's perfect for me because I have a hard time watching shows that are like 40 minutes, 1 hour long. And the Avatar, The Last Airbender, is like 20 minutes. The story is so cute. It's all about the elements and the avatar and like coming together continuously. It's such a cute show. If you haven't watched it, you need to, if you're like on the spiritual path and healing yourself. And this really, like the show and the body and, our capabilities in this human body and our, like what are we made of? What are we here to do? It really excites me and it invigorates me inside of this creationality of that which we are. So deep feeling will quantum leap you because when you choose to feel your body, when you choose to allow yourself to be who you are, be and feel every single molecule, every single atom of that which you are, It lights you up in such an incredible way, guys. Like, it just quantum leaps you because you remember who you are. But I have a lot to talk about on this, so yeah, I have one friend on here. Hey. Oh, they left. So funny. Okay. So, um, negative emotions are most of the time an implication of the body processing an event or a reaction from our mental experience, right? Or how we experience something, right? We recognize it, it comes into our field, it comes into our experience, and we either make it a story, we judge it, we feel deep pain, we feel loss, we feel grievance. These are negative emotions, or we feel positive, blissful emotions, joyous, gratitude, excited. And this is how we kind of process life around us, is through this experience of having emotions. And this runs incredibly deep. So when we have an experience, sometimes we'll have an experience and maybe we'll feel shame or we'll feel guilt. Or if it's like a negative experience, maybe we get made fun of. Maybe we're asked to speak in public and that's our fear. We have a negative emotion that comes up around that experience, right? And that's almost always tied into a story, tied into the implication of a traumatization from our parents, from our family lineage line. It could even be past life. There's so much intelligence stored in the body. So when something happens and we're triggered into an emotion, this stays in the body. And a lot of people don't want to feel it, right? So like, an experience happens and they're like, no, I'm going to block that out. I'm going to numb that out. I'm not interested in feeling it, which is fine. I mean, it's kind of not fine. That's just where we're at as a society right now, is numbing out, not really feeling safe to tap into the body because there's a lot of stuff to move through and to dig through, and we don't know how to feel properly. And if I did feel that emotion, I would be, probably need to be locked in my room to process it for a few days, maybe a few months. Like, these are the things that I've experienced as well too. Like, if I truly felt my pain, what would happen? Like, what would truly happen, right? But those are limiting beliefs because they keep us stuck inside our little model of, this is safe, this is comfortable. But really, it's not comfortable. It's not really safe. It's not helping us thrive. It's not allowing us to be our greatest version of self. So that's my perspective on negative emotions and how they get stuck in our body and all of that stuff. And there's so much amazing science around this. So I encourage you to be your little alchemist philosopher and research all of that amazing stuff. But something that really struck me was, I was reading this book, Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom by Christiane Northrup. And she talks about this amazing thing called neuropeptides. And neuropeptides were thought previously to only run in the endocrine and the immune system cells. And these are like neural chemicals. So they're messengers and they get triggered by our thoughts, and then they run through the body, and they kind of just allow the body to communicate with us. But people and science and researchers have realized that organs themselves can create neuropeptides to communicate to the brain. So if an organ is feeling an emotion, and this has been studied and proven by scientific research, if an organ is feeling an emotion, so your spleen, your kidney, is feeling sadness, grievance, it will send a neurochemical messenger to your brain to trigger that experience in your body, in your mind. You register it. You don't know where it came from, but it's there, it's present. And this is revolutionary because this informs us that our organs are communicating with us, our whole body is communicating with us. And um, yeah, like, how absolutely amazing and cool is that? So these chemical messengers can be triggered by our thoughts as well and by our emotions as well. So here's the breakdown of what happens. Our organs communicate directly with the brain, feeling and emotionally, through neuropeptides. Not only do our organs contain receptor sites for neurochemicals of thought and emotion, but they also themselves produce these chemicals i.e., your stomach can inform you of an emotion that it's trying to clear out of the body or feel. So it's not just that we create these thoughts and feelings and emotions in the mind, but that the organs and the body itself can create and communicate with us about these emotions in our body. So, like, we could be having a fantastic day, numbed out, not feeling the body, and your kidney might try to inform you through the neuropeptide and send that chemical messenger up into the brain. Hey, I am feeling grievance, or I am feeling shame, or I am feeling anger. And then what do? We might say, where'd that come from? I'm having a great day. Which, of course, like, we should, not just always dive into the stories of every day is hard. I always have these negative emotions, but we can start to inquire, where did this emotion come from? It came from the temple body that is always in communication with us, that is always talking to us. So you can research this yourself. It's called psychoneuroimmunology, or PNI. And this is the science behind the mind, body, and emotional connection. So yeah, I thought that was really cool. I thought that was really, really cool. And yeah, our bodies can also remember situations from years ago. So there's been a lot of scientific research on if you smell something and you're brought back to a memory from a few years ago, and it causes that disgust in your body, or that guilt, or that sadness, or that happiness, even like when you hear a song and you're brought back to that experience. This is all because of the chemical messengers that work within our body, and how it's like basically like an orchestra of life that is always communicating with us. Like, we are just such an incredible creational being. And we can seek to release trauma literally all the time. There's so many moments in the day that we can choose to release, to heal, to feel, to see the quantumality that life is not linear. Life is like this beautiful circle of us remembering this moment from 5 years ago, us like seeing or getting a vision from the future, the body always communicating with us, the body always preparing us for what's coming, or what's been, or how to heal, or how to embody, or how to let go. Like, there's so much potentiality and potency in every single moment of every single day. And yeah, it's just such a beautiful, beautiful experience. So you can check that out in Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom by Christiane Northrup, that information. I'm literally so incredibly amazed by this book. She kind of got called out and pushed off of Instagram and a bunch of other platforms during COVID, for you may know why reasons. But yeah, she's an incredible, like, she talks about energy, she talks about the body, she talks about the hormones of women's bodies, and just the incredible spirituality of that, which is this human body, and the emotionality and all of that stuff. So why does this matter? Why does this matter? Why should I feel my body? Why should I care about the past? Why should I care about feeling? This is because your body keeps the score, and your body is the vessel. So if you're trying to get from point A to point B, if you're going on a road trip and you are desiring to get to this location, this point, because you are desiring something, or you're yearning for something, your soul is yearning for something, your body is the vehicle. Your body needs you to listen to it, to pay attuned, to, nourish it, to love it, to be here with it. Because, like, if you were going to get in a car and go on a road trip, would you want your car to break down like every few miles? No, that would be extremely unpleasant, and it would waste a lot of time. Or, you know, like, that car analogy is just so great. Like, you can't get out of the car and just like walk your way there. You can't leave this body and expect to get anywhere. This is the vehicle. This is how we arrive. This is how we get there. So The Body Keeps the Score is also a great book. And yeah, we can be heavily influenced by the pain of the past. So we have to start feeling our body, noticing, am I stuck in the past? Am I stuck in this linearity of, I can only do this. This has always been my timeline. Or can we start to access the creationality of all things exist in this moment, at this point in time, miraculously, as a creational being, and influence your life. Get in the driver's seat of your own car, of your own temple. This matters because emotions, feeling, noticing the body, noticing our reality through this temple vehicle is going to allow us to quantum leap. Because if we understand the mechanics of this vehicle that is driving us towards our destination, we can amplify and like just get there a lot quicker. I was going to say hack our way there, but I don't really like that word. So we can optimize our reality, alchemize it, and allow ourselves to arrive somewhere beautiful and holy and sacred. And like it can be quick and easy and effortless in creationality. And you working with God, you working with yourself, you feeling fully fulfilled in your body because you're listening and you're conducting and you are that which you desire to be. So this is how we heal. That's why it matters, because feeling the body is how we heal. So my next topic is what counts as feeling. How do we feel the body? And I just want to make sure. Well, I have one friend. Hey, bud. Hey, fam. So what counts as feeling? So our feeling is our ability to sense and perceive life. So you can feel the body. You can feel the room around you. You can feel people's energy. Maybe if you're an empath, you can feel nature. Maybe if you're sensitive enough to it. And this is something that we can like master, something that we can take on as a study is how deeply can I feel? What can I sense? What can I notice around me? And what can I start to play with in order to organically manipulate and dance with life? Right? So manipulate, again, is a word I used in my last video too. And I don't really like that word because it sounds like, manipulation is obviously an icky word, but when we are manipulating matter, when we are manipulating physicality and energy, we are just moving it, is what I mean by that. We are dancing with it. We are allowing ourselves to play a part in co-creating our experience. So again, a lot of people have been numbed out to feeling, so it might be hard to feel at first. How do I feel this body? How do I feel what I've been through? How do I actually process those negative emotions, those pains of the past that have been plaguing me? Or maybe you don't even, like, you feel like there's nothing wrong, but you're stuck in the mud in one particular space and you can't seem to get out of it. You can't seem to get that job. You can't seem to make those friends. You can't seem to get to the next point. And I would argue that a lot of that is emotionality. That's your belief system. That's why we get stuck in these ways. And I'm obviously very much so working on this myself. We all are, because that's the process of being in a human body and being in this experience, is that we are remembering our creationality. And I truly feel like feeling is the foundation of creation. So it scares people to feel the body, of course. Like it requires a lot of patience. Sometimes we have to scream into a pillow. Sometimes we have to process. Sometimes we have to journal. These are all amazing ways to start feeling the body, is to really process what you're experiencing as you feel it. And yeah, you can play with it. Like, don't take it too seriously, like don't become your own therapist and start to dig into those horrible wounds immediately, because we have to invite the body into recognizing that, okay, I'm curious about this experience. I'm curious about feeling. I'm going to take this on as a study. And like a master would train a student, you can become a master and train yourself and say, hey, bud, hey, lad, hey, friend, we're just going to start by feeling the body. And then maybe I'll start to feel that person's energies that I'm already feeling all the time. But maybe I'm going to be really inquisitive about it, and I'm going to deeply feel it and be aware of what energy I'm feeling from them. Maybe they're projecting something at you. Maybe you can just feel their emotions, their state. And then you can go outside and start to feel trees. And you can feel trees, and you can feel life, and you can feel the organic energy of nature. And then this will tap you into so much abundance, especially outside, especially with Mama Yaya, because she is tapped into incredible sources of abundance, incredible sources of creationality, and she can really open you up to experiencing deep feeling. So we can take this on playfully. We can allow ourselves to feel slowly, and sometimes it will come on all at once. I'm a deep empath, so I, will be that person watching a movie and it gets a little crazy and I'm like, I have to take a break because this is way too real for me. So sometimes we do take it viscerally, we take it on spiritually, emotionally, mentally. And it's a lot to be in that creationality of feeling everything deeply. So funny, like my friends, the more we heal, the more we come into union with ourselves, the more we become sensitive. It's like, okay, I can't go out as much. I can't see people as much. Sometimes we have to go into that hermit state. And it's not that we're isolating ourselves or that we're, saying that we should, not see people and not be social and not expand and, have parties and gatherings and all of that stuff. But the more sensitive you become, the more sensitive you become. You'll just notice it. This will maybe be your experience, or maybe you'll be able to very easily separate yourself from that, which is what we want at the end of the day. We want to be able to separate ourselves from it because it cannot define us, it cannot limit us. This is a superpower. Feeling is a superpower. My next point, superpowers of feeling. All of everything can be felt. You can feel everything. And I know that for some people, maybe that's not exciting. But for me, that is incredible. That's so cool. I can feel everything around me. That literally means I'll never, ever be bored or feel numbed out. And if you've been through deep, heavy depression, you know what it's like to be at the opposite spectrum. And there's a reason that that is so incredibly painful, to be depressed, to be not feeling anything. And on the flip side, feeling everything can be such a blissful, ecstatic joy. But it also comes with, of course, a lot of responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility, obviously. So, yeah, you can feel your organs. You can start to feel your blood when you enter meditation. Start to really tap into yourself. How small of a molecule can you feel? How slight can you feel? How much are you willing to quiet yourself and tune inwards to feel the bubbling, the vibrancy of creation? Some stuff is going to really need you to be quiet. Your anatomy, your nervous system. And this is where, again, we get to become masterful and we get to play with life because we get to be maneuverable and be malleable so that we can support life and treat it with kindness and respect and experience that superpower of feeling. So you can feel nature, water, trees. It is an indigenous and shamanic belief that everything has life within it. So even inanimate objects, maybe you want to feel your bowl of soup before you eat it. And of course, there's a lot of life force in the noodles and the broth, but if you just want to feel the ceramic bowl, what does that feel like? What's going on there? Is there much energy moving? So energy is what we're feeling, what we're connecting to, different kinds of expressions of colors and sound frequencies. And we can account this, the fact that everything has movement, everything has energy, to people have been studying frequency hertz scientifically. And by doing this, they're kind of putting it on a scale of, how organic and pristine is the energy of that. So happiness and bliss is a very high frequency or hertz. And you can also do this with organic life. So here's a quick little blurb from this amazing website, Carolyn Locke Frequency of Trees page. So she says the frequency of sound is measured by counting the number of occurrences of unit. The frequency of sound is measured by counting the number of occurrences of an event per unit of time. By measuring the number of times a branch or leaf on a tree moved a certain distance within a set time frame, Locke was able to equate tree movements with hertz readings, the unit used to measure sound. So she used a laser scanning technician to scan 4 trees at the Yorkshire Sculpture Park, oak, cedar, beech, and horse chestnut. She was then able to overlay HD film footage over the detailed laser scans and record the movement of specific leaves and branches. The audience is invited to strike the tuning forks gently, using the beaters positioned around them to listen to the resonating frequencies that continue long after the initial strike. These are the pure musical tones that exist after the high initial overtones recede. So people are incredible. So many people are researching how we can, get the hertz, the frequencies of everything around us, like organic life, like trees. People have been like plugging in these awesome, I don't know what they are, but they plug them into plants, and you can literally hear the sound of plants singing to you, which is just the cutest thing in the whole world. Like, how incredible is that? But yeah, that's my little blurb about emotions and feeling and expression and tuning into the body, and how this is the creational mechanic that allows us to quantum leap. Because the more in tune with life we get, the more we get to know life, the more we get to know the mechanics of creation, the more that we can master it. And then anything that you desire in life, you have free reign to do it, to become it, to master it, to enlighten yourself with the experience of it. So in my opinion, deep feeling is like, the first point in the journey. And I also wanted to share just like personally, in the beginning of this live, I shared that I'm watching with my boyfriend the Avatar, The Last Airbender. And the show has just been like the best. I love the show so much. I know it's made for kids. I know it's like little like animated silly stuff, but it's so incredible because they are manipulating elements, water, earth, fire, and air, with their human body. And Aang, the main character, is an avatar, and he masters all of the elements, or that's his role, is to master all of the elements to save the world. And so I was like tuning into this, and I was like, as humans, we can definitely do this. And I was tuning into telekinesis. Oh my gosh, like on YouTube, you can find crazy amount of videos of people practicing telekinesis with their hands, with their mind, moving things with like intentionality. And again, like I'm practicing this now because I think it's so cool that we can feel energy, place our attention on something, and literally move it forward or backwards. And like, like this guy I found, he was like moving things, not with wind, but like with his hand, moving things. And it's like so cool. Like, I believe in that so much. And yeah, the book, The Life of a Yogi, Paramahansa Yogananda, I believe was his name. Like, that book just shared so many incredible stories of yogis who just did incredible things, and they would levitate, or they would shapeshift, or they would disappear out of thin air. And I believe genuinely that this is our natural state within creation. When we remember that we are the experience of life experiencing itself, we are the same as air, we are the same as all of the elements, we can tap into and feel into the creationality of this experience on life on this earth. So yeah, I love that there's people in here. I hope you guys are doing amazing. If anybody wants to see that telekinesis dude, I can definitely send it to you, or maybe I'll put it in the description, because it's actually so cool, and he kind of teaches you too. He like shares with you how he does it, and it's all about stillness. It's all about becoming calm and quaint and relaxed, and allowing yourself to become pristine in your precision of moving something with your mind, moving something with your intention. So yeah, I love you guys so much. If you want to check out creationalcodes.com, that's where my courses are. I'm going to be offering VIP one-on-one coaching for people who want to start to tap into their greatest expression of self, become these creational. It's going to be called The Bridge. So it's going to be about healing the body, healing and tapping into your spirituality and building routines and building structure that allows you to become your greatest version of self and become revitalized and nourished by you optimizing yourself and remembering yourself and becoming and feeling who you truly are deeply. So I'm so lit for that. And I'm so excited to coach in a more personal space with my beautiful soul fam who feels called to work with me. So yeah, I love you guys so much. Please hit up the like button if you watched all the way to here. Please subscribe to the channel. It means a lot. And I will see you next time.